indication of applause from the gallery. I call the Honourable Minister Dr. Peter Sharples. Tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I say at the outset, the Māori Party will oppose this bill, and we've said that at the beginning, and we say it today. Repeat it today. In triplicate, yeah. Nā reira, hoki aku mahara ki te wā au e tamariki ana. I whānau au i takapau, te taone nui i ngā tikahunga. I au e tamariki ana, i kahana ngā mātua ki te kōrero e pāna ki te treaty o Waitangi. Kei roto i ngā waiata, kei roto i ngā kōrero i runga marae, ka puta mai te kaupapa o te treaty me te tino kaupapa o taua kawenata. Ki mai taku i wiki ahau, nā te mea, nā te hāpuku i haina tia te treaty, i haina te treaty. I roti ngā whakapapa, nā ku i haina, nā ku te treaty o Waitangi. Nā rira, ko tae nei ki tēnei wā, ka kitau i ngā iwi Māori o tēnei wā, kei te noho tonu i roto i ena whakaaro he taonga te treaty o Waitangi, he kaupapa nui rawātu mō tātou. Nā tā mea, ko haina tia te treaty, ka āhainga a tauiwi ki ta haramai ki Aotearoa noho ai. Kia noho tahi ai tātou i tēnei whenua. Nā rira, ngā kāwanatanga ka whai atu i tēnā, he kāwanatanga reipa, he kāwanatanga nahinara, nā rātau i ki, ko te treaty o Waitangi, tō tātou kawenata. Te kawenata e whakakotahi ai tātou i roto i Aotearoa nei. Ki roto i te reo Pākehā, our founding document. I have spoken initially about the Treaty of Waitangi because it is over and over again, Māori are always having to litigate the case of the importance of the Treaty of Waitangi to us as a nation. And as I said, it is a founding document of this country, of our nationhood, but it also is the means by which tangata treaty and tangata whenua can nohotahi, can live together and grow our nation, inviting other people from other countries to come and live with us, but under our umbrella, if you like, as a people of New Zealand. So when this bill came up and we saw the first draft that we saw from Treasury had no reference to Te Titi o Waitangi, our opposition was in two areas. In the first place, to sell whaia papatunu, the land, to us would be wrong, to sell our land to overseas people. If they want to come and live here and be New Zealanders and buy land, that's different. But the possibility of selling it to overseas people, and we are the tenants in those lands, is foreign to tikanga Māori. So we value very much that we don't sell our land over there and our taonga that we have. So that's at the base of it. But secondly, we noticed in that initial document reference to the principles of the treaty that's present in the SOE Act under Section 9 was absent. And so we immediately made a challenge to national government that we are in coalition with to reinstate Section 9 from the SOE Act into this new amendment to the General Finance Act. So that if this is passed, then the Crown will still be bound by the principles of the treaty. And you know, it's just time and time again for all Māori who are in the front line for different activities, we see our people relitigating the importance of the Treaty of Waitangi to our country and what it will do for us in the future. So that is why, the two reasons why we have fought on this count, so much so about Section 9, that as everyone knows, we said we are considering whether we should stay with our government who is supporting us in other areas, or whether we should perhaps leave. And on no other issues have we ever said that. But because it is the treaty and we feel that we have made our point, and now along with iwi leaders at the consultations, Section 9, basically word for word, is now inside the new bill. However, we will not be supporting it because of our belief that our land should stay with ourselves. In Aotearoa, the land is the mother and the sky is the father, and the elements, and they nourish each other. So that's the real reason why we opposed that bill. It's not over though. If it passes, then in there is the opportunity for the sales to take place. And one still has to look at who appoints the directors, how they are appointed, and their responsibilities under the treaty, and so on. So even although the Crown is 51% shareholder, how will it act out in terms of the responsibilities to the principle of the treaty? How will it affect the water, which iwi are down a long road already with government talking about the rights and interests in water of all New Zealanders, including Māori tribal people on the riverbanks of those rivers. So it's been good that we've been able to get this far in those kind of discussions about our natural resources, and I'm pleased that an assurance has been given to Sir Timu Te Heu that and the Māori Water Group of iwi leaders, that discussions will continue in the same vein that they have before, and there could be clearly co-management of our waterways and our fresh water in the future, as was being planned. So just to summarise my view and our party's view, is we are sad that our land is going and our assets are going to be sold. We are glad that the treaty section 9 is in there, and we'll be looking with interest to see how the Crown is actually bound, how it intends as 51% shareholder to observe those principles of the Treaty of Waitangi. I'm happy to be leading a review of the constitution of this country with Minister of Finance, Deputy Prime Minister Bill English, and this will take place over the next 2 years, including a review conducted by Māori iwi Māori, and those two views will be compared to each other, of course. But the whole idea, this is an opportunity for us to actually talk about kei hea te treaty kei roti tō tātou ao, where is the treaty in today's time. We talk about it, the principles are in there. The Ratana Church makes much out of the fact that hasn't been honoured, the promise made to Wiremu Pōtiki. Also at Waitangi, we've had disputes over the years about the mana of the treaty in our land. So where does it stand in terms of our constitution? Our New Zealand constitution is made up of bits and pieces, and one of those bits is the treaty, but in terms of where it actually stands in our country's mana and legislation, that hasn't been determined. And I think that, hoping that people will get themselves involved in this constitutional review and put their thoughts forward. Well, that's all I have to say, and just kia mihi atu ki ngā iwi I haere ki ngā hui, the consultation hui, where they brought their kōrero about their journeys, their feeling for the taonga, and so on, and put it on the floor for everyone to hear. And I congratulate them on their efforts to make sure that the treaty is involved in the new bill. Tēnā koe.
Mr. Speaker.
Call you Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Mr. Speaker, this is not really the mixed ownership